Hello and welcome back to another HW-Aquascaping video. Today you join me for the fourth installment in the Island Aquascape, and in this episode we'll be looking at what you can probably see on the glass and the lily pipes, which is diatoms. Now, my usual water change regime when setting a new aquascape up is I'll do 50% water change every single day for the first week, 50% every other day for the second week, then every other day for the third week, then go to twice a week, and then from then on it'll just be a once a week water change. Now, I can honestly say that it's my fault that this has happened because I've been a little bit neglectful of my new aquascape. You know, it's summertime here in the UK, and it's just like everything in summer. There's so many things to do and not enough hours in the day, and therefore my tank has taken a little bit of the brunt of that and has been neglected. So that is 100% why this has happened. The diatoms has got a little bit out of control, not majorly, as it's not really on the plants as such, it's just on the glass. It's not even really on the rocks or the substrate either, it's just on the glass. So not too bad, but again, it's my fault that this has happened, and I'll give you a bit closer look at the glass just to show you just how bad it really is. So with this zoomed in, you know, you can see here on the side panel mainly that the glass is caked in this sort of brown mucky algae. And basically diatoms is just new tank syndrome. It does come and go, however it's mainly caused by excess nutrients in the water, which in a new aquascape, because your plants are still settling in, there's a lot of nutrients that are released from new aqua soil that then floods the water. So that's why we offset that by doing these regular water changes. And as you can see on the lily pipe, it's absolutely caked in there. This doesn't really happen that often once the tank is bedded in a little bit more, but it's definitely happening because there's a bit of excess nutrients in there. So I'm going to offset that by adding a few new plants, as you probably saw in the opening clip. I've got a few different plants, and I will get further into that of what plants I'm going to add in, which will hopefully be able to aid in absorbing a few many nutrients, you know, from the excess soil, essentially, the nutrients that's coming out of the soil. So yeah, I'll get into that in a second. So here are the plants that I have purchased from Horizon Aquatics. So I've got some Cryptocorini flamingo. As you can see, it's quite a small little tissue culture plant, but this should hopefully survive melting, because tissue culture plants do a lot better at not melting than potted plants do, just because they're already established. We have some Anubias Nana Pinto, so I'm really excited to see how this grows, because this has really sort of like variegated leaves compared to a standard one. And we also have some Cryptocorini Nuri, one I've never heard of before, but it looks really cool. Has sort of like a orangey yellow leaf when it gets growing, and it sort of has like tiger stripes on it. So yeah, really excited to see how that grows. And as you can see, I've got some Cryptocorini flamingo that I saw in my local Maidenhead Aquatics at Chesterfield. So this is a you know, again, a potted version of the one I have in the in vitro cups. A lot bigger, already sort of like more established plant, but there is a risk that it will melt off. And I have some Cypress helferi as well. I was going to get some Vallis, but I thought, you know what, I've never grown Cypress, so I thought I'd give this a try instead. Very similar structure, although it grows as a rosette plant rather than you know, sending little runners off. So we'll get these all you know, prepared for going in the tank, and we'll give the tank a water change, scrub off all that horrible algae and top it back up, and hopefully this will work in terms of making the tank a lot healthier. So yeah, let's get to that. So also whilst I was at my local Maidenhead Aquatics in Chesterfield, I purchased a few cleanup crew. Basically just went round. They didn't have many Amano shrimp or Otto sinklers in at the time. So I've got one Otto and a couple of Amano shrimp and a whole boatload of horned bumblebee nearite snails. They're one of my favourite snails at the minute. They don't lay as big eggs as your standard sort of zebra or onion nearites, so a little bit less noticeable. They also are a lot smaller, so less noticeable in the tank as well. And they can also eat blackbeard algae. Not that, touch wood, I've been suffering with that sort of over this past year. I've seemed like I've got on top of that really, but just in case it crops up again, yeah, I've got loads of those to go in the tank. And they also are great at eating diatoms. All these, they'll absolutely love it. So yeah, we'll release them in the tank now and let them settle in. So there we go, the reinforced cleanup crew is in, the tank is looking shiny and sparkly as it should. However, the diatoms was my causing through lack of maintenance. But I want to know in the comments down below, what do you do to combat these algae issues with new aquariums or old aquariums? You know, it's a great discussion to have, really helps the newbies out in the hobby with your great advice. So, you know, do you add fish? Do you change your maintenance regime? Or do you add a chemical form? It's really great to have a talk about this. But if you've enjoyed this video, hit a like and a subscribe. It really helps me out and grow the channel. And that is all from me today, guys. I will catch you in the next video. Take care. See you later.